Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss one question of triangles lesson of class 9, that is from exercise 7.1 question number 8. So in this question I have already drawn the figure and I have written what all key points that are given in the question along with what we are supposed to prove. So let us just analyze the question first. It says it is given that triangle ABC is right angled at C. So this triangle ABC, it is right angled at C. Let me mark it as the right angle over here. Then M is midpoint of AB. This is the line segment AB and M is its midpoint. That means we can say MA is equal to MB. So I have respectively marked it in my figure. It is always good if we mark equal parts in the figure. Then C is joined to M and produced to point D such that DM is equal to CM. So DM is equal to CM. So I will mark these also as the equal parts. Now this is what all is given to us, and what we are actually supposed to prove is first part that says triangle AMC is congruent to triangle BMD. Second, angle DBC is a right angle. Third one, triangle DBC congruent to triangle ACB. This triangle DBC is congruent to triangle ACB. We will be seeing and analyzing all these parts one by one. And the last one which says is CM is equal to half AB. So let us start with our proof, and in the proof first of all we will consider the first part that we are supposed to prove. That is triangle AMC and triangle BMD are congruent. So I will look for the two triangles in my figure. Triangle AMC, this is triangle AMC that I am shading over here. Not able to shade it completely, but yes, you can get a general idea. This is triangle AMC and this is triangle BMD, which is here. So we are supposed to prove that these two triangles are congruent. So if I am supposed to prove that these two triangles are congruent, I should look for matching parts. So matching parts in these two triangles to prove their congruency. So when I see these triangles, I can see I have already marked in the figure that these two sides are equal in these two triangles respectively, that is in AMC and in triangle BMD. I can see AM is equal to BM because M is the midpoint. Then I can see that CM is equal to DM as it is given. And for the third matching part, I can see that there are two angles which are equal, that is angle 1 is equal to angle 2, and these are nothing but the vertically opposite angles. So the two triangles become congruent by S side angle side congruency rule. So let me just start writing it also. For first part, in triangle AMC and triangle BMD, I will write the three matching parts taking into consideration the part of AMC triangle first and then the BMD triangle. So AM is equal to BM because M is midpoint. It says M is midpoint of AB. It is already given to us. And the next matching part which I can take is CM is equal to DM, which is given to us. And next we have the two angles that I have marked that they are vertically opposite angles. You can write them as angle 1 equal to angle 2 also if you find that convenient, or otherwise you can write it as angle AMC is equal to angle BMD. These are nothing but vertically opposite angles. So the two triangles, they become congruent by SAS congruency rule. So triangle AMC is congruent to triangle BMD by SAS congruency rule. So once the triangles are congruent, we can move on to the next part, SAS congruency rule or criteria, whatever you want to write. So this proves the first part. And for the second part, we are supposed to prove angle DBC. This angle DBC, this angle is a right angle. for this, what we will be actually doing, children, is we will be taking out few things from these congruency that we have proved. Whenever we prove that triangles are congruent, we look upon the other corresponding parts also, and we actually show that the other corresponding parts of the congruent triangles are equal. That is what you call it as CPCT. So when I see these two triangles, I say they are congruent from the first part. I will also think about the overlapping. Whenever we are talking about congruency, we also have to think about the overlapping of the figures. So if I will see overlapping of these figures, that means then I will be actually cutting this triangle and then moving it in this direction and putting it here, so that point C, it superimposes point D and point A superimposes point B. Then only these two are congruent. So in this case, this is so because we know CM is equal to DM. So if I will move, then C should come on point D. So in this case, when I will mark these two angles as equal, that is the angle which is corresponding to this angle 3 over here, and equal in this triangle, it will not be marked here, it will be marked here according to the superimposition that we have seen in the triangles. So we can say from here, angle 3 is equal to angle 4, and that is by CPCT. Also we can say AC is equal to BD, and that is also by CPCT, as AC is part of this triangle and BD is part of this triangle. So now let us move on to the second part, which says that prove that this complete angle DBC is a right angle. To prove that it is a right angle, let me just talk about these two lines, DB and AC. With respect to these two lines, DB and AC, angle 3 is equal to angle 4, and these are nothing but alternate interior angles and are equal. Therefore, we can say line DB is parallel to AC. So, we will write for line segments DB and AC transversal AB, angle 3 is equal to angle 4. These are alternate interior angles. These are alternate interior angles and are equal. Therefore, we have that DB is parallel to AC. Now children, since DB is parallel to AC, we can take it as DB is parallel to AC and BC is the transversal. BC is transversal. This I am taking because I want angle DBC as a right angle. So when I see angle DBC and angle ACB, I find these two angles are nothing but co-interior angles. So I can say angle DBC plus angle ACB is equal to 180 degree. That is, they are co-interior angles. Co-interior angles, that is consecutive interior angles. And we know consecutive interior angles are supplementary. So we can say angle DBC plus 90 degree is equal to 180, since we know angle ACB is 90 degree. So angle DBC is 180 minus 90, which is equal to 90 degree. So we have proved the second part, which says to prove that angle DBC is a right angle. So we have DBC is a right angle. Now let us move on to the next part, that is the third part, which says that we are supposed to prove that these two triangles, that is triangle DBC and triangle ABC, triangle DBC and triangle ACB are congruent. So when I am talking about DBC, this is the complete triangle and ACB is the other triangle, and we are supposed to find the matching parts. So for the matching parts, we already have in these two triangles DBC and ACB as DB is equal to AC from the first part. We have written BD is equal to AC. So this is the first part which is actually equal in these two triangles, which we can take. And the next part which is equal is BC. but we will not be writing it as BC as a common side. We will write BC is equal to CB, because we will think about the superimposition of these two triangles. So when I take this triangle and fold, just move it in the manner like the point A corresponds with D and C corresponds with B, then I actually find that BC is equal to CB, which is the common side. And the third matching part we just had, that angle DBC and angle ACB, both of them are equal to 90 degrees. So let us write the three matching parts here. So while writing, we will say in triangle DBC and triangle ACB, we have DB is equal to AC, which is from our part 1. Then next we have is, after that is angle DBC is equal to angle ACB, and both of them are equal to 90 degree. DCB is equal to ACB, both of them are 90 degree, and BC is equal to CB, which is the common side. So we can now write actually what rule we have applied for these two triangles to be congruent. We can say triangle DBC is congruent to triangle ACB by rule. We can check the rule. It is like side, then the angle, 90 degree angle, and then the common side. So it is by SAS congruency rule. So both the triangles are congruent. So we have proved the third part also. We have proved the first, second and third part. Now let us come to the fourth part, which says CM is equal to half AB. So I am writing my fourth part over here, that is CM is equal to half AB. So let us actually see, when two triangles DBC and ACB are congruent, what do we actually have for side AB? We can say side AB is equal to side CD, or AB is equal to DC, because they are the corresponding parts of congruent triangles. I will show it to you that these two triangles, when they are congruent, we can say AB is equal to DC by CPCT. So from here I will say that since triangle DBC is congruent to triangle ACB, we have that DC is equal to AB by CPCT. And when I see the question, it is like in the fourth part it is written half AB. So I multiply both the sides by half. I have half DC is equal to half AB. So in this part I can see half AB is there, but instead of half DC I want CM. So children, you can clearly see that CM is nothing but it is half of DC. So instead of half DC, I can clearly write CM, and then that proves our fourth part, that CM is equal to half AB. Why I have written so? Because I know M is the midpoint of DC, because it is given that DM is equal to CM. It means that it is midpoint, and we can talk about it being the half of side DC. So I hope this question is clear to everyone. There were so many parts in it, but if you move systematically and in an organized manner, looking at the figure, you will be able to prove all the parts clearly for this question. So that's all.